This is Rockin' with Jam Man is with Aesity. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Good. How are you doing?
Congratulations on your new track, Silent Whispers. I love the song. It was so cool. It had really something to say.
Well, thanks. Thanks.
What inspired you to write this song?
Well, I guess we need to start with the guitar.
I
Right.
guess we always start with the guitar. You're the
Well, that's
vocalist.
because it started with the guitar.
Well, basically the thought, at least musically, was we wanted to have our first song, our debut single, was sort of like rock with more radio accessible with a little bit of metal. So like, hey, we could actually play metal. This time we wanted to make it impact and have something a little more hard hitting and straightforward. That modern sound with some good riffs, but also can still be played with a solid rock chorus, and people can enjoy that. So just decided to kick it up a notch and be more straightforward. We wanted the lyrics to do that, so it's sort of like the lyrical and music content sort of complement each other to be in your face and powerful.
And the video
Yeah.
and the video was so cool.
Thanks.
It just
Yeah, we just wanted to go ahead. Sorry, there's lag.
It's alright, it's okay. Is it just a single or do you have more music coming, like an album or even more singles?
Well, we've got at least a plan for a few more singles and then maybe an EP next year. So
Yeah, we focus on just a single at a time. That way, for one, it's expensive to do a whole album, a whole EP, and all that. But give everybody a taste of the project, and if people like it, then we know what we want to do. We're still doing what we want to do, but we want to, with every song, progress, push boundaries, and know that we mean business. Instead of people catching on 2-3 albums later, they're catching on 2-3 songs later.
right.
Now I have been interviewing so many bands fronted by females the past few months. I think 2021 is going to be the year ladies of rock takeover. I think that's going to be the year 2021. I've been interviewing a lot and a lot of them are doing well. So I think this might be the year.
I hope so.
It makes sense. I mean, we could compare to Spirit Box quite a bit, and not musically, but just the whole aesthetic of it started with two people, and that's sort of the first thing that people think about with the modern age of music. So it makes sense where people are not afraid to stand up now. With indie genre, there are now more people being represented in the front, like people like Courtney and Amy Lee and things like that are paving the way for artists like Monica to finally have a voice. So it's definitely a good time to do this. At least I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I have to ask to feel any extra pressure being a woman in the music industry. And what I mean, it's like when you're a girl, people expect you to look and act like in a certain way.
Yeah, I would say that that's accurate. A few like things that we've gotten, just few comments and stuff. People just say like, oh, like, they'll say to him, oh, you're in a female project, so you guys are a joke, or you're not serious, or something like that. And I'm just kind of like, we're probably more serious than you. So
it's I've been in bands for a very long time, and I've seen there's not so many starting out that were fronted that way, and over the years I've seen it. I've fought against certain things, but then I see this other side of it where I've always appreciated it, and even I tried to do like a decade ago having a front woman, and that didn't even work out for similar pressures. So now just seeing that people want to say, oh, you either a couple band or something like, oh, you're just riding the coattail of Spirit Box. It's like we can stand on our own, and that's why we do things so strategically. We want to have an impact. Like, no, we're not just another band throwing out music and sound like everybody else. We have a plan, and we plan to execute it to the best of our ability.
With guys, they can go out on stage unshowered, not brushing their hair, dirty clothes. It's no big deal. But if a girl did that, people would lose their mind. It's
yeah, it's a double standard.
How do you make yourself stand out as a female fronted band and not getting lost and labeled as just another pretty face?
Honestly, I think I'm just, I'm not like just going to be another pretty face. I like actually talk about things that I care about, things that matter, you know, different issues and stuff like that. And I try to be more real with people and more vocal about things. So I think that kind of hopefully will set me apart from, oh yeah, it's just another copy of so and so.
And the other thing about that is, a lot of every project, regardless of how it's made up, they try to find themselves as a band over years and over records. And that's the reason why we're doing Single at a Time, because we want to hear the evolution of our sound to be more prominent, where it sounds mature from the first, second song. And that's just, if we can do that with one or two singles, we're going to do that with every album. So we establish ourselves. We do feel like musically we also do things differently. The good thing about us is that we do a lot of studying. I do a lot of studying. I've been studying like who does what in business. So there's a lot of business savvy decisions that we've decided right off the bat to do things differently, instead of how bands like figure out the band stuff way after the fact. We want to do things right from the get-go, and that was their mindset. Like, we either do this right or we don't do it at all, because there's 1,000 bands trying to do the same thing, and it's all about who executes and who doesn't, and we plan to execute.
Do you find it more a challenge getting noticed?
Yes, it'll always be a challenge. It's a boys club, and it's something that I'm not too much of a fan of personally, just because I was never part of the boys club myself, just because I never really cared to do the same stuff. For me, there's faith things that my personal beliefs that I'm not really a big fan of when it comes to the scene. And then just, I've always wanted to do my own thing. So I think that's why we work, because we've always tried to do our own thing. We are both bold about our opinions and what we believe. And I think the big thing about it is the fact that it is hard to get noticed when there's so many bands doing it, and everybody can do it online, and everybody can go to a producer or record themselves. But
right.
It's not hard when you put the quality over quantity as a factor to your project. So we feel like even we can still cut through the noise a little bit.
Do you have more shows for the summer?
We don't do shows. We're focused more on building our sound more than actually performing. It is because it is the two of us working on this project. We're focused on giving quality content over getting back on stage. And I think it's just important. Like, we'd rather give you solid songs you want to hear live than just everybody's itching to get back on stage. Let's everybody do their thing.
Right. Because it's also oversaturated right now too.
Right.
So because everyone wants to get back. So like you said.
It makes sense. Build the following, build the presence, get the brand right, connect with fans, build relationships with people like you and anybody else who wants to hear us. And then if you want to see us, we'll make it happen.
It is harder doing a handful of shows instead of a full tour. Well, it is hard. Is it harder doing a handful of shows instead of doing a full tour?
Well, the big thing about touring is like there's a lot of strain with things like that. Shows have a lot of focus, and you could really make a show an event. But with doing tours and things like that, it's one of those things that people don't realize, that when you're an up and coming band, you really it hurts you in the beginning, sometimes to a point where it's more of a negative financially and time wise. So a lot of people lose money on their first 4 or 5 tours before they even get traction. So it's like a handful of shows, you have a little more control. You have the ability to actually connect with people who are going to those shows and just actually make a connection with those people. And, for us, it's not about just playing music. We can, if we want to just play music, we can play in our rooms in our own recording setups. We care about the people that we want to connect with. So,
what is your favorite memory from playing a show?
So this project,
that's all you.
Yeah, this project is not play shows, but I've played quite a few shows over the past 10 years. I played bass for projects last year, and we played out to like 550 people. That was really cool. There's just a lot of shows I've gone to. I think one of the best memories I had was I did 2 shows back to back. A lineup. It was a band I was in 2018 that we opened up for Phineas and Within the Ruins. And then the next day we played with Fit for a King, and one of our songs at that time featured the vocalist Fit for a King. So he jumped on stage. That was cool.
What was your worst memory from playing the show?
The shows that we did terrible. I don't know if I want to relive that. There was one show, I might as well. There was one show we had a drummer that just wasn't really technologically strong when it comes to some of the stuff we have to do live. And we opened up this big package, Ice Nine Kills, Dayseeker, The Plot on You, and Carousel Kings, and it was stacked, and the drummer just like broke his thing, so we like froze on. He didn't know how to play the songs, and it was the biggest night ever.
Book your dream tour. Who would be on the bill?
Oh man, definitely Evanescence, because Amy Lee is like my favorite singer. And then I'd want to play with Vela Maya. Architects would be a good one too, to have Architects on there. And Eminence.
And We Came as Romans.
And We Came as Romans. Yeah.
That would
cool.
That would probably be like collectively our Aesity Dream Tour plus Dream Tour in general.
Yeah.
Dream show.
Yeah.
At least for me. I've already got to play with the bands I wanted to play with already.
Yeah.
For the most part.
But I have not.
What's next for you? What's next for your band?
We're finishing up the final touches of our next song right now. We're penning out details. We actually finish up our tracking. We track everything ourselves. I run my own studio, so we track everything ourselves and we send it to a producer. We're going to be working with a guy named Brandon Hart of Heartbeat Studios. He's got a fantastic setup, and he's going to be working on our next song, and we're preparing for the video shoot and just keep writing
and doing singles pretty much.
How do my followers follow you?
So they can follow us pretty much if you search for the tag at Aesity Official on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and then it's the same one on TikTok, right?
Yeah, they're all Aesity Official.
They're all Aesity Official, yeah.
Except for the actual page, website.
Yeah, and then the website is aesityband.com.
Well, thank you for being on my show, guys. I hope the next time we talk is at the backstage at one of your shows. Please.
Sweet.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Bye.